Welcome to our AI for Everyone instructional video series. This instructional video series is developed by the American Institute for Professional Training and Development, a nonprofit organization. This educational video series is designed to provide an opportunity to learn about AI and explore how to benefit from this remarkable technology. The entire series is available to view at no charge. If you wish to view any of the other videos in this series, simply visit the AIPTD web address shown below. My name is Sandy, and I will be the AI avatar guiding you throughout this presentation. Have you ever had a long chat with an AI, only for it to seem to forget something you said near the start? It's a common, slightly frustrating experience, and it points to one of the most important ideas in how these tools work. In this presentation, we will be discussing the context window, what it is, and why AI sometimes appears to lose the thread. Let's talk about something you may have noticed while chatting with an AI. You've been chatting for a while. You gave the AI some details early on in your chat, your name, a preference, a key fact. Then, many messages later, it acts as if it never heard you. Now you are thinking to yourself,
Wait, didn't I just tell you that?
it's tempting to think the AI is being careless or that something broke. The detail you mentioned earlier seems to have vanished. But this isn't a glitch. There is a reason for this. It's a built-in limit, and once you understand it, the behavior makes perfect sense. Let's introduce the context window, which is the AI's short-term working memory. It's the total amount of text the model can actually see at any single moment, and that includes both your words and the AI's own replies. Everything the AI uses to craft its next response must fit within this context window. If something isn't in the window, the model simply can't use it. There's no separate filing cabinet it reaches into. The context window working memory is just like our memory. It has a limited capacity. There is only so much it can hold in all at once before some things start to slip away. Another way to picture this is to think of a desktop. The surface of the desktop is only so big. You can spread out a certain number of items on the desk. However, the moment you try to add an item to the desk while the surface is full, something at the edge gets pushed off to make room for the newly added item. The desk never grows or gets bigger. The AI's context window works exactly the same way. A fixed surface with a hard limit on what fits. So how is the size of this window measured? It's not measured in words, but rather in tokens. As we discussed back in our tokens video presentation, a token is a chunk of text, roughly about 3/4 of the context of a word. The phrase, the context window, might be broken down into several tokens, one token for the, another for con, one for text, another token for when, and a final token for DAO. Just like you see here. Your messages, the AI's replies, and any instructions in the context window are all counted in tokens, and the context window can only hold a fixed number of them. When it comes to the context window, everything counts. And here's what often surprises some people. Everything shares that same limited space in the context window. 4 things are always competing for room in the context window. First, any hidden setup or system instructions the model is given before you even start. Second, every message you type, from the very first word. Third, the AI's own replies. Its answers take up space too. And fourth, any files or documents you paste in. All of it adds up, and all of it counts against the capacity limit of the context window. As the conversation grows, the context window size does not change. It always stays the same. So what happens when the window fills up? The window slides to make room for new information. As new messages enter on one side, the oldest text slides off the other end. Once something falls outside the window, the model genuinely can't see it anymore. The AI isn't choosing to forget that early detail. It has simply moved beyond what the model can still look at. It's like looking out a window of a moving train. New scenery comes into view as old scenery disappears behind you. So how big are context windows? First, it's important to note that windows aren't all the same size, and that they've recently grown dramatically in size. Early AI models held only a few thousand tokens. Today's largest models can hold millions of tokens, enough to read entire books at once. A smaller window means the AI forgets sooner in a long chat. A larger one can hold far more, but there is a catch. Even the biggest window still has a limit. There's always an edge where things can fall off. Why does this matter in practice? It matters because the window's size shapes what AI can do well in three big ways. When you ask an AI to summarize a long report, it only works well if the whole report fits in the window. In coding, a large code base can overflow what the model can hold at once. And in everyday long conversations, those early details fade once the chat runs long enough. Knowing that window limits exist helps us to understand why these things happen. The good news is that we can easily work within these limits. I'm going to share 3 simple habits with you that can help. 1. Always summarize rather than repeat. Recap the key points so they stay within the window. 2. Start a fresh chat when a conversation gets cluttered. It clears the memory and resets the space. And 3. Always put what matters most up front, where the model is sure to see it. Now for our 3 key takeaways. Number 1, the context window is the AI's working memory. All the text the AI can see at once. Number 2, context window capacity is measured in tokens. That includes your words, its replies, and any files, as they all share that one fixed space. And number 3, when the context window fills up, the earliest content drops out of view. That's the forgetting you have probably noticed in long conversations. Thank you for watching. Be sure to join me next time when we'll shift from words to pictures. We will look at how AI generates images using diffusion models that turn random noise into amazing finished pictures. You can find that video and the rest of the series by visiting the AIPTD web address below, where you can access the entire AI for Everyone library.